Um, I'm really humbled to be here tonight. And I just remember the words of Martin Luther King, which was a kind of a manifesto that I used when I agonized about coming out about the truth about 9/11 and going public about it. And he said, "To stand for the truth of God is the most important thing a human being can do. This is the end of life. And we stand for the truth of God, come what may. It's not about leading a life of pleasure and avoiding pain, but it's standing for the truth." And there's also something that keeps coming to my mind, and that is, Lamb of God, that takest away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. And the sin is our ignorance, the ignorance to the truth of who we are, and that is that we are not separate from one another, and we are not separate from God. So, those people that perished on 9/11, and the numbers that keep rising for the first responders who are suffering, that if there's a way that we can stand in the truth of our own divinity and stand in the truth of who we are, that their passing and their dying will not be in vain. And I would just like to, as a singer, we say that when you can't speak anymore, you sing. So I would like to sing a song that I sang for Billy Burke, who was a firefighter who perished on 9/11. I sang this for him at St. Patrick's Cathedral. And I feel that Billy Burke saved my life in a way, because after 9/11, I was so terrified and so lost. And I wanted to run, and I wanted to take my family, and I wanted to run away, and I didn't know where to run to. And I remember sitting in my bed crying and kind of coming down on myself, thinking, you really have no right to cry, because you didn't know anyone who perished in 9/11. And that is reserved, those tears are reserved for those who lost their loved ones. And I didn't know what to do, and I was asking God to help me, and all of a sudden the phone rang. And it was a friend of mine who I'd worked with many years ago in Florida in a show. And she said, "My boyfriend and I came to see you in 42nd Street, and he loved your performance so much, and I know that you never met him. And he was a firefighter who perished on 9/11, Billy Burke. And I know that it would make him so happy if you sang at his memorial." And I was so grateful at that moment, because I felt as though I had been saved. And it was God that was asking me to get to work and to share the gift that he gave me, and that is the gift of singing. And when I stood there and I sang, and all the important officials were all there, and there was a sea of blue, and everyone was standing, and I remember seeing this table at the center right near the sanctuary, and it was just a captain's hat and the fireman's hat and a photograph, because there was no body. And after it was over and I walked outside and I saw the 2 ladder trucks up there and the 2 firefighters up there. You look down 5th Avenue, there's no cars, and the bagpipes are playing Amazing Grace, and there's the firefighter's truck with an empty casket. And his sister walked by me. And she looked at me and she said, she just mouthed the words, "Thank you." And I remember looking at my husband saying, "I'm not afraid anymore. I don't want to run away. I'm here among the living." And I'm so grateful for everyone in this room that's not afraid of who you are, because that's really what a spiritual warrior is. We're not afraid of who we are. We're not afraid of the truth. And I just want to thank you all for being here, and I'm so grateful that I can be a part of this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Though we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. God bless you all.